Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Gentle Giant Limited 2015 convention exclusive, The Secret Wars Deadpool. The Merc with a mouth returns and somewhat actually goes to retro form, as Gentle Giant, as you know, have released a whole slew of big-sized, big-scaled versions of the original Secret Wars figures. And what better figure for a 2015 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive than, of course, Deadpool here. Deadpool is currently slated for San Diego Comic-Con 2015, but if you wish to purchase Deadpool, the Secret Wars figure, you can also go online and subscribe and join the Gentle Giant Limited Premier Guild today. The membership will allow you to purchase this particular exclusive item, but you'll also be able to receive 10% off all your regular released items as well. Plus, you also get yourself a mini bust, so that works out pretty good. As for the packaging, let me just say, well, geez, look at the size of this packaging. There's the bottom of it right there. All the way up to the top, there is the top of Deadpool's card. The card itself is essentially just a scaled up version of the original Secret Wars card, of course featuring Deadpool, which would have been not a figure available at the time that Secret Wars first came out. It is recommended for ages over 14. It does look like he also comes with himself a firearm. It's packaged down below. And we take the very large package, and actually just to kind of give you guys a scale as to the size of this packaging, even at the top, which I think is so clever. They put peg holes on the top, or they put peg sections for you to hang it on a peg. And it, of course, is a 2-peg because it's such a large package. Flip around to the back of the package itself, and some of the other figures available, the Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Jumbo figures. There's also Wolverine, Wild Mutant, and Hobgoblin, the gliding Marvel supervillain. Also, Gentle Giant, no strangers in the world of statues, also have an Iron Man Metropolis armor variant and a Mark 38 Igor, both 1/4 scale statues. There is a read-up at the top, and hopefully, well, first of all, I don't know if hopefully you guys can see it. There's the artwork of one Rob Liefeld, who was one of the original creators, of course, of Deadpool. The read-up says the Marvel superheroes are forced by the Beyonder, a mighty being from another universe, to fight the Secret Wars against Earth's deadliest Marvel supervillains. Can secret messages bring the heroes victory? And then for the read-up on Deadpool, his secret identity is Wade Winston Wilson. His height is 6'2". Weight is 210 pounds. Superpowers, regenerative healing factor, superhuman strength, stamina, agility, and reflexes, and speed. Master martial artist and assassin. Weapons, Deadpool employs any number of weapons depending on his current assignments, most often guns, grenades, sai, knives, and katanas. He can use any weapon known to man, and he can learn how to use the weapons in less than 5 minutes. Deadpool has also been shown as having a magical satchel, often pulling weapons out of nowhere. The satchel contains all of Deadpool's unlimited weaponry and ammo. Could you imagine? Could you imagine just having a bag of, just like a tickle trunk? You just reach inside and you'd be able to pull out any number of different weapons. Of course, I can also tell you, you can go to www.gentlegiantlimited.com and check out the other pieces that they're producing. And one little funny nod down below, there's the proof of purchase from Gentle Giant Limited, number 80475. Before we actually take a moment, as Spot is anxious to get this opened up, before we actually take a moment and get this opened up, one thing I actually wanted to draw your attention to as well was the way that the package was cleverly created. It is a clamshell, as you can see right here, but there's just a little bit of tape on the sides that I'm going to cut to get this opened up. Once this is cut, you can actually simply remove the back plastic part of the clamshell without actually having to cut it open. In other words, you could take the Merc with the mouth, as you see right here, you can take him out of packaging and you can put him back in the packaging without damaging any of this glorious, glorious package and card. Having said that, Spots will take himself a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the San Diego Comic-Con 2015 exclusive, the Gentle Giant Secret Wars big-sized Deadpool. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just by the way, before we go ahead and open up the package on Deadpool, I just want to quickly show you how easy it is to get him out of card. I went ahead and I've sliced the tape on either side. There's 4 pieces of tape on either side, and there's a couple of pieces on the top. Once that is cut, all you actually have to do is take the back section and hinge it open. Once that's hinged open, you can easily access the back card, and you can access Deadpool inside. For his accessories, Deadpool comes with one weapon. It's this double-barreled style machine gun. I would even say it's less a machine gun and almost something more on par with like a ray gun. It's not something, yes, you would see Deadpool wearing and carrying around now. Something you would expect now is probably more like a semi-automatic machine gun, but this fits perfectly into the scope of what you would expect to find back in the day with Secret Wars figures. These kind of over-the-top, almost borderline ray guns, and less something like a machine gun. The machine gun can easily fit into his hand, and actually only one hand is opened, so deciding which one to have the machine gun with is quite easy. As for the figure itself, it's a great representation of the old school Secret Wars figures. Growing up with the line of myself, between that and the DC Superpowers figures, I mean, I was really big into superhero figures back in the day, and this guy fits the bill perfectly. He is slightly pre-posed, as you can see down below his feet. One foot is more flat, the other one has this arched pose to it, so posing him, you likely want to have the figure more leaning back on the one leg as opposed to have him standing straight up. Coloring on the Deadpool here is basically a tomato-colored red, as well as this darker gray color. It carries from bottom of his feet all the way up to the top of his head, where the mask itself stays very true to Deadpool. The mask has almost a simplicity to it. It definitely is more a Deadpool design, but it doesn't have the one larger eye, he doesn't have an expression going, and he certainly doesn't have the point that is common on some of the Deadpool designs. He's very bare bones, and that's exactly the way I would want it on a Deadpool figure, especially one from the Secret Wars. Some of the other details more obvious to notice as well is the logo on his belt. It's interesting that this particular Deadpool doesn't have any of the straps, the belts, or the harnesses that you would come to expect with a Deadpool as, you know, the later into incarnations of Deadpool. He, again, is very simplistic in his design. And I think, while I would have wanted to maybe see the belts and stuff like that, I think if I have to look at it from the standpoint of a Secret Wars figure, it does make perfect sense that he doesn't have a lot of those bells and whistles. While some figures, like Captain America, would have had, you know, a belt or something on him, or perhaps like a Nick Fury, Deadpool here really suits having a very classic costume versus something that we would see in a modern take. The figure stands at 12 inches tall, so yes, he is bigger than the Secret Wars figures that you would have grown up with. And, like the Secret Wars figures, he does have the same articulation present. Back in the day, you would have only had 5-point articulated figures where you would have had the swivel in the head, swiveled arms, and swiveled legs. And again, Deadpool still stays very loyal, very faithful to the Secret Wars line by having the same level of articulation. Gentle Giants certainly are no strangers when it comes to jumbo-scaled figures. They're doing very well with a whole slew of things ranging from Star Wars to Marvel to DC. If you are certainly a fan, and if, like myself, you grew up with the Secret Wars figures, you definitely would want to add this guy to your collection. As mentioned, he is going to be a San Diego Comic-Con 2015 exclusive, but if you guys want to have him ordered and you, like myself, can't make it to Comic-Con, you can also order him by going directly to Gentle Giant. You can get your membership, and you can purchase this exclusive item, and you can also get a lot of other future exclusives above and beyond the Deadpool you see right here. If you guys are interested, and again, you can't make it out to San Diego for 2015, click the link down below and you can order Deadpool here today. Today's toy spot, we're having a look at the Secret Wars Deadpool, the jumbo figure, the 2015 exclusive from Gentle Giant. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you next time.